the normal. So the streaming started. If you want to do the normal date, introductions, and they don't have a quorum, whatever. All right.
Yeah, so go straight to the public.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try to go in order. I see, I don't know who went first. I guess it doesn't make a difference. Not
Well-
many.
Wait,
Yes,
What?
we
Yeah,
have,
for what?
well, before we do anything, don't we have to just say this is the Transportation Committee meeting?
this is the Transportation Committee, January 8th, 2024, starting at 7:07 PM. And we
Thank
are,
you.
and we are going past introductions, review of draft meetings, combining street activity, which we could, oh no, we can't do street activity too. Can't do that. So we're gonna go straight to the gallery session and I will call on Grace. Grace, you're first.
Hello, everybody. Well,
Hi.
I'm here because I have the street activity permit. That's why I'm.
Excuse me 1 second, Grace?
Yes,
Grace?
yes.
You need to, when you're speaking, you need to have your camera on, please?
Oh, I forgot about that. Why, you missed my face, Debbie?
It's a roll.
Hold on. Why is it not coming on? Oh, there it goes. Okay. There I am. There I am. Smile once in a while, Hazel. Hazel.
I don't feel good. Leave me alone.
Listen, I've been a little under the weather too, so I'm with you there. I hear you. But yeah, no, I'm here because I have the street activity permits on the list, which, thanks by the grace of God, I happened to look up the meetings, the calendar today, and I saw that, and I said, well, normally Chris or somebody calls me from the office to say, hey, you're on the agenda for tonight, and so that's why I'm here for the SAPO.
Okay,
All right, so we're gonna have,
then we can talk
we'll
about.
come back to you when we have quorum then.
How many people do you need for quorum?
We need 5 human bodies in the room here.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just sit back and shut up.
Okay.
Diana Finch, you are number 2.
Yes, sorry, I just joined. What are we doing right now?
Right now, we skip to gallery session because
Oh.
we do not have quorum yet to vote on any of the other things on the agenda.
Okay, sure. So local concern is a semi-trailer tractor, just the cab. It's been parked on Bronx Park East, but it's still quite large, taking up a lot of space for about 3 weeks now without moving at all.
Bronx Park East and where?
Bronx Park East, right across from the intersection with Reese Place. And I think it may belong to someone who's a resident of Bronx Park East or was until recently a resident of Bronx Park East. Even though it
So
says it's a
You said it's just
California
the front
company.
part? You
Pardon?
said it's just the front. You said it's just the front part or the whole thing?
Yeah. No, just the front, not the trailer.
Diane, do me a favor,
Just
send me
the
a
cab.
picture,
Okay.
a quick description.
I'll send you all the info, Chris.
Well, yes, please, I'll take care of it.
Yeah. Because if it appears as though it's privately owned by someone who doesn't own any other trailers, and who knows, maybe they're fallen on hard times or whatever, and they're just stashing this on the street until they can figure out what to do.
How long did you see it for?
Since December 22nd, without moving at all.
Any tickets on it?
No, I didn't see. It's got California license plates.
Yeah, but
They still could give it.
yeah, they can still give a
Yeah,
ticket.
I didn't see any tickets on it.
Okay.
But also, I was looking around and it said that one way to deter that kind of parking is to switch to angled parking, which is something that we've been wanting to do on Bronx Park East anyway. Because then when you do angled parking, they can't fit, so they can't
So you
park.
have vehicle parking there already?
Only for certain stretches, not for the whole thing. And this is just outside where the angled parking ends, one segment of angled parking ends.
Yeah, and the street is big enough to have it on
Yeah, I
both
think it
sides,
is.
all the way down,
Yeah.
at least to Allerton, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
Chris,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, anything
I'll
else?
send you lots of
Diana?
info.
Anything else, Diana?
No, I just, if it is one individual who's a resident of the neighborhood who's just fallen on hard times, I'd rather try to figure out some way to get him out of it than just
Okay.
give him lots of tickets. But I don't know.
Thank you. Okay, moving to the left. Kay, who says she cannot work with a camera for some reason.
Okay, what do you need to talk about?
Oh, cool. At least I can unmute on this thing. Nothing. I saw something on Facebook today about Loretto Park in Morris Park and like a
The farmer's market.
Yeah, farmers market. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. I don't normally pass by there on Mondays, just Tuesday and Thursday. I go by on bus. So I was wondering, is it an actual farmers
It did.
market?
It didn't start yet, so we don't know it yet. What was it? Camilla from the Morris Park bid. She was the one that posted it and was mentioning about it. But yeah, I happened to comment on that. It didn't even come before the committee, so we're in the dark as much. But that's the same type of sign that they have over at Jacoby. So it'll probably be just like Jacoby's, except for on a weekend.
Uh-huh. Okay, and I just wanted to be sure it wasn't like a group of individuals that decided to set up shop.
No, well, if they got a permit, they can do it.
By a park with a playground?
The DOT is not going to put that sign up just for any random people. It's got to be done through a legit organization. So
Oh,
it-
okay,
it,
okay.
it will be legit. It's just that it did not even come before us like other things normally do.
Wonderful. All right, and yeah, just to let you know with WebEx, with this phone, for some reason I can't do the camera feature.
Okay.
Like on Zoom meetings, and there's another format with another group that I do meetings with, I can use the camera, but for some reason with WebEx I can't. So apologies, but
Not
it
a
is what
problem.
it is.
Understood.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, Michael, you're next.
Going once.
Sorry, I don't have anything.
Michael. Okay, thank you. Rich Reynoso.
I don't have anything. I'm just a member. I'm just watching.
No worries.
Okay, Bill.
No worries. It's probably that's not Ryan? No. Okay. I know it's not on the old business, but I know I did bring up before about a bus shelter being needed on Pelham Parkway by the TD Bank.
What's the bus shelter?
The glass thing. So we need one by the TD Bank and on Pelham Parkway at the very other end by Stowell Avenue by the 911 call center. I've been asking for them for years, getting all sorts of variety of different answers and promises, but we still didn't get a bus shelter. So I do want to have that on the radar again.
And there used to be one there by TD Bank, right? And they took it out with when they were doing the reconstruction.
That had to be like many moons ago,
Yeah.
like my daughter was probably in middle school.
No, I don't think it was that long ago, but I
no,
remember that I remember them having one there. So we
No,
should, you know, if
There
it was there
one
before.
there, but it's more than 10 years now. It's legit more than 10 years.
Mm,
And they're like, oh, we got to see if it'll fit this, that, the other. There's enough sidewalk. There's plenty of sidewalk room.
oh, yeah,
You said
there's,
there used to be one, you know, because a lot of people, they're waiting by the TD building when it's inclement weather. And then when they see the bus, they got to run across the service road to then get to that island area for the main road.
so do we have to put in a formal request or have we done that yet?
I know we've put in the request and Keith Kalb had said, yes, he was gonna do it. And then like 2 months later, Keith Kalb left DOT.
Okay, so then let's follow up on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Ryan, right?
Yep.
Because the new faces have no.
I understand.
Okay, we got 5 bodies in here. So now we got quorum.
All right.
Okay, so review of the draft of the meeting minutes. Does anybody got that? Because I didn't get that. All right, so let's go on to number 3. Combining sanitation and transportation committee discussion. Let's discuss. Everybody knows my answer. And I know people in sanitation do want it joined, and it doesn't make sense not to join.
I don't know about that because I heard from some of the members that they don't, that they feel that we should just come together and have joint meetings when we have to. So that's how I
You never
feel.
know when you have to. If I want to bring up something, now, it's like, oh, all right. So then I gotta go to sanitation, and then
Yeah, but that's
then I
where-
gotta go to sanitation, and it's.
But that's
it's
what,
back and
that's
forth.
with anything. That's with anything. If we were, if something
Yeah,
came
but-
up that had to do with
Shouldn't-
public safety,
It
then
should
no,
be.
I feel that we should only have joint meetings with them when we absolutely have to, when an
Why-
issue comes up
Why does
that
community
affects both committees.
Why does Community Board 11 need 12 different committees? And CB10 has
We're not
6 committees.
CB10.
I know.
We're not
but
CB10.
but we don't need a committee for every little thing.
Well,
CB10, one of their committees covers 3 of our committees.
well, that's good. That's the way they want it, but I feel
And
that
that's the way
we,
a lot of the other community boards are too.
well,
Like,
you know, good,
we're sitting
then that's how they're
sitting here
doing it.
waiting, like we were
We're
sitting
not-
here waiting for another person to have quorum. If everybody's having to go to 10,000 different meetings, people are gonna get burnt out. People are gonna get burnt out of having to go to
but
this meeting
you
and
can
that
say-
meeting
you can-
and this meeting.
You can say that about almost every committee, because there are number of us that sit on more than 1 or 2 committees. So that's not really a reason to do that. I want to put a motion that we should meet with sanitation whenever an issue comes up that involves both committees.
All right, so when are we gonna have a joint meeting with them? Because I know there was stuff that I brought up to sanitation about downsizing some of the alternate side of the street. Which
Debbie, can I
affects the
intercept for a second? Can we have the chair speak to, please?
Hazel
Rabbi.
speaking,
Rabbi,
Hazel speaking.
yes.
I'm agreeing with what Hazel says.
So
So
then, Mary, you can say anything, please, on that matter, because just 2 people cannot hold the meeting. What is your
Yeah.
opinion? You're a member of the committee too.
I think it makes sense. So there are pros and cons, and I understand both perspectives of it. I understand that the pro is consolidating meetings. However, you also have to recognize that that's also going to result in longer meetings, which is a significant barrier to a lot of board members as well.
Not necessarily.
I mean, we have board members that if one committee usually takes about an hour and we're having two committees, the logical train of thought is that it will likely take 2 hours to get through the entire agenda for both committees. As it is, we have board members leave during the full board meeting because they just they just do not have the ability to stay past a certain time for a variety of reasons. There's benefit, of course, to having those consolidated meetings, but there's also the significant barrier that will arise from longer meetings.
Sanitation historically has on the short side of meetings.
Right, but there are also times where historically we were supposed to have a shorter meeting. We had a deadline and we continued maybe an hour past when we were supposed to. So going based on, there's no guarantee that it would or it wouldn't. I think that if an issue is going to become something that is worth, a joint committee or a joint discussion, then those discussions, so say, an issue is brought before the board and we've already met, then, then the sanitation committee can invite us to come attend that meeting with them and we can discuss together. But I see the value in it. I just don't necessarily feel that the benefit outweighs the detriment.
I have no strong opinion for that. The questions that come to my mind are how often do both meetings lack quorum? Because if it's like frequently, then that might be a benefit of combining two committees in that case. How often does both agendas like come across where you do need transportation to be at sanitation and vice versa? I haven't been on a committee that long, so you know better than that. So that'd be something that I'd love to hear more.
Sanitation historically doesn't have that many meetings, number one, because there's not really much for their agenda of things. And when they do, they're kind of historically on the short side.
So to that, if we do combine them and they don't have very many meetings, then we're gonna have a bunch of people from the sanitation committee
Coming
have to
to-
come to our meetings if we're having them more often.
Right.
So
Ryan
that
That's going to be
correct.
an additional barrier.
Yeah,
like I don't, just going off what I'm hearing, like I don't know what's the overlap in the two meetings that would make it really make sense to combine them, because I don't know.
Oh, like
very much
alternate side
Which-
of parking
Yeah,
is under the umbrella of sanitation.
right.
But what does it affect? Your vehicle. Your vehicle is
Mhm.
what? Transportation.
Yeah, no, that particular point definitely is.
Fine,
Yeah.
then that's one meeting that we can have jointly.
So
If you
when,
want to talk about it next month, we'll
when can we
meet
have it
with sanitation next month.
next month? So we're making a motion to have a joint meeting with sanitation for February?
I don't think we have to make a motion. I'm just saying that if that's a topic you want to bring up, then
Yeah.
we can,
I'm
can-
just covering bases, because if I don't make a motion, then somebody's gonna be like, oh, well, a motion wasn't made, so I'm figuring I'm making a motion.
Well,
I can agree with that.
before you do a motion about having a joint meeting, first of all, since everybody spoke,
there's a motion on the floor.
then you can put a motion about if the members of this committee want to join with sanitation. If not, then the second thing you can talk about it is requesting the chair of sanitation if they're willing to have a joint meeting together with you in February. But first, you have to vote about it, either you want to join or not. Once that is settled, then after that, the chair or the co-chair can call the chair or co-chair of the other committee and ask them if they want to join together and have a meeting on the issues about parking and cleaning and things like that.
Well, Hazel's basically shooting down joining the two committees as committees. Rabbi is going along with Hazel, shooting it down. The three of you.
It's
what-
not
for my
necessarily
point
a
of
shoot
view-
down, right? It's weighing
Like,
the merit to the detriment, right?
So
And
what? So you
I
don't,
don't see.
currently you
I
don't
currently
want,
don't see, it's not a matter of what I want or what I don't want, it's a matter of do I see benefit to it? I'm looking through our agenda right now, looking at last month's agenda, none of these particular issues are issues that would warrant a sanitation, a sanitation meeting, for example. So what is the benefit of having members of the sanitation committee come to this meeting, none of the agenda items, and historically, they don't meet necessarily every month, or when they meet, their agendas are short. There's no benefit to having them attend a meeting that none of these pertain to them. Is what I'm looking at. That is the most leveled way that I see it. It's not about wants or not wants, it's about merit and detriment.
I think that like we can do a joint meeting and see how it goes
But we
and
don't
talk
have to
about
form
it
the
and talk
committees
about it
for it.
with them. So my point is that before we join, I would either table it or abstain from this vote tonight myself personally. And do the joint meeting next month, see how it goes, see what they're thinking as well, and go from there. We don't have to join it now. We can wait too and see how.
Chris, you heard that?
Yes,
So
repeat again, what was it?
I would propose to table this motion and move on to planning the joint meeting next month and see how it goes, see what the sanitation community sanitation committee thinks about it. And what their concerns are or what the benefits they think there are to that plan. So have a meeting with them before we vote to combine.
And it could be maybe we decide, alternating months, we can touch base at a joint meeting, but I don't necessarily see a benefit to joining the two committees, but we could have a cadence of communication with the committee where it makes sense.
Well, you gotta understand one thing, guys. Once the combination of both, committees, is gonna be a very large number of, members. It has the pros and cons. The biggest con of it is that a lot of people are gonna be absent, and by being absent, then the meeting is not gonna be conducted. First, second, the final saying is gonna be also by the chair of the board, because she, after that, has to decide who's gonna be the chair of that combining committee, because maybe Rabbi doesn't see himself as a chair. Or maybe Hazel doesn't see herself as a chair, or maybe Avril doesn't see herself as a chair. So it's not that easy that 1, 2, 3, and that's it, it's a done thing, boiling an egg. And my opinion, sanitation, it has more pros with health committee than it has with transportation. Because sanitation is health instead of transportation, with the exception, like you said, the alternate parking space, which it's nothing. I see more transportation close to public safety, since a lot of accidents occur, police is more involved, and so on and so forth.
Which is why I had said, like with CB10, they're down to 6 committees, and their municipality is transportation, sanitation, parks, and health, all in that one.
Parks are separate.
Parks is separate. Excuse me, parks is separate.
But you're right.
But yeah, so yeah, while you're seeing it connected to one and more than the other, CB10 has it all,
The
municipality.
Yeah, but
It's-
but it works for them, and
it has
they're
different-
happy.
That's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
agree
the
with that.
boards.
It's gonna work for us.
I agree with Hazel. I mean, I believe that, smaller committees give more, if they are involved very much into the issues, give more, I should say, outcome than, large committee of municipal, whatever you might call it. Because that's gonna be like a committee of 21 people probably, if you're gonna combine sanitation, transportation, public
Down
safety.
somewhere one time, it's not as big as it seems, and there are a couple of people that are on both of them. So, but I can't find where I put that. I see Bernadette, you got your hand raised?
Yes, I have a suggestion if I could have a moment.
Yes.
Okay, I think that my suggestion is for the committee members to do their homework and to go back for the last year or whatever, get all the agendas together, see how many have overlapped on the subject matters, etc. And if they really don't comparably work, then joining them together is really not going to work. But as I've suggested with housing and land use, before, send it, all that has to be done is to send an email to both chairs and suggest that this particular subject matter really deserves a joint meeting. If you agree, please have it for the next month. And then it basically has an option to do it. If we find out during the year, as we look at our overlap, if we see that there is a lot of reasons to come together, then we have something to base it on. Right now, the only thing is to look back on our past agendas and see what subject issues overlap. Have a joint meeting next month in February, discuss it. Everybody have their agendas in front of them and discuss it right then and there. Have everybody on the same page.
Well, the two committees were supposed to meet to discuss this issue. I don't think sanitation has met. I think if I'm not mistaken, their committee
the joint
meetings
one
have
got,
been
the joint one got canceled in November. And
so
Okay, so let's everybody meet in February. Have a joint meeting. And continue the discussion. And really look at the issues on the agendas.
okay.
I'm going through their agenda actually right now for sanitation. All it says every single month is pretty much the same structure: introduction, review minutes, TBD, gallery session, motions, old business, new business. There is no specifics as to what they are discussing.
Do you hear her, Bernadette?
Yes. I think for sanitation, the one thing that I brought up was, I know an issue I brought to the committee was changing the alternate side street parking. So that was an issue that was brought.
Yeah.
It sort of fell into an abyss, and I'm not going to let it stay there. So
Yeah, no, it was brought June 6th, 2023. It was item number 3, alternate side parking restriction. That is the only time in the past calendar year that it's been mentioned in an agenda.
Right, and I know I attended the sanitation meeting addressing that many times prior, so.
Okay.
I know it may not be on the agenda, but I know it's many times prior.
I think maybe this particular topic, then, if this is like the one topic that's really sticking out as something that, would require a joint effort, maybe that should be, a discussion that is had, again, at a basis that makes sense. But once again, going back to the agenda item as to whether or not the two committees should be consolidated, I think maybe establishing a cadence of communication where a joint meeting, if this is an issue that's coming up, a joint meeting that month makes sense. But to consolidate, I still, based on what I'm seeing, I'm still seeing that keeping the two committees the way that they are and then just having a cadence makes the most sense.
I agree.
well, that's the motion that's on the table, actually. That's the motion that I made.
Okay,
So
so make the motion, get a second, and we can move on.
So what is the actual motion?
the motion, oh, should I remember? The motion was not to combine the two committees, but to meet jointly when the issues concern both committees.
Okay. But do you agree that
And to
maybe
plan-
next
And
month?
to plan for February. To meet jointly.
Can we do this motion first, please? And then we can talk about February.
All right, so that first motion. Who's seconding it?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? We've discussed.
Position, nothing, okay.
I'm against that proposal, but I'm outnumbered, but. You're for it? You're for the proposal?
I'll abstain.
Yes, go for it.
All right, so motion passes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Thank you. So next, let's get in touch with sanitation. And let's have a joint meeting next month to talk about the parking.
Okay, but you realize now, Hazel, next meeting, MTA is coming to us too, so sanitation's gonna have to sit for that. This is the way. you
Well,
want it? That's
yeah,
what
they're
we
gonna
do,
have to. They're gonna have to if that's what they want.
Right, or we
Well-
can talk about alternate side parking, and they can leave.
Hold on a second, what's coming for March? Sorry, excuse me. What's coming
February.
for February?
MTA,
Metro North MTA?
yeah.
Or-
Some sort of proposal, yeah,
Is there anything in the works for March?
not at this moment.
So then we'll do the combined for March, so they don't. Excuse me? We'll do, Hazel, combined for March then?
Okay,
That's fine.
that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, street activity permit applications. Okay, turn your pages. I think we just have one, I think there's only one person out there that wants to speak about her permits,
Grace.
and that is Grace. That is 637-522 and 728-728. Grace, it's all yours.
Oh, well, these are events that I've had with the block party. I've had, this will be the 11th year having the block party. That's never had a problem.
Was that Hello Summer or?
The Hello Summer, you're right. That block party. Now I also have in October the annual Jazzy J Hip Hop Festival. That would be, I had to cancel last year because of the weather. So, but again, never had any problems with that. And the other one that is for July was, instead of me losing my Sapo that I had to cancel, I moved the date to July. And what I want to do is I'm going to restart the Allerton Food Festival. So I can either do that in July, or I was thinking it might be better if I can get it approved by the city to move it to October at the same time of the the hip hop festival. So there'll be the food festival on one block and the hip hop festival on another block. And this way we don't have to worry about closing down Allerton twice. What do you think?
Hello Summer. I'm sorry. Did anybody? No. I was all right. Hello Summer. I know there's never been an issue. So I'm gonna address the other two. I know, number one, I know there's been a lot of community complaints about the noise and such from that hip hop thing on Allerton. That's number one. And number two, the Allerton Food Festival was something started by Gene DeFrancis, and that's not something you could take or grandfather over from him. So it cannot be.
Well, I
cannot
can
be that instead.
Well, I'll name it something else, but the point is, I have that, I can do
know.
something in, yeah, well,
Right,
look.
The thing is that the
first
food
of all,
festival is Gene's.
First of all, no, actually, it's not. It's whoever puts in a permit for. He did not start that. That started with Naomi Rivera when she was the assemblywoman. And then after she was left office, Gene started AIM, and then he started doing it with the Allerton merchants. That hasn't been done for about at least 3 years. And people keep asking me in the neighborhood, when is the food festival going to happen? When is the food festival going to happen? So I'm trying to make it happen for the people in the community who want it. I mean, it hasn't been done. It
did, yeah, because a lot of things were put into the back burner because of something called COVID.
That was 1 year that it was, but after that, he had the opportunity. It was scheduled a couple of times after COVID, and it was just canceled out of the blue. No explanation, no nothing. So, I get people that ask me all the time, when it's going to happen. Now, as far as the other thing, the hip hop festival, it's a music festival. It's for a few hours during the day, and I've never heard, nobody's ever told me about any complaints. And if the residents, it's on the avenue, and people that live on the avenue, it's during the day. It's not at night. It's during the day. By 6 o'clock, we shut down. It's done, and we clean up. So it's not like it's during the day. I mean, at nighttime where it's going to bother people. Yeah, it's people. You can't please everybody all of the time, but it's a good event, and people enjoy it. So for the few that
Yeah,
are complaining,
I know people blocks away were complaining. And the last time this was brought up, for transportation, we couldn't vote on anything because we didn't have quorum. My phone was blowing up with people saying they did not want it. And those are
Okay,
people
well,
who live in that area.
okay, let me address that. Why would people be calling your phone? Wouldn't they be calling the community board, not your
Because they know I'm
personal
on the
phone?
transportation
Let me
committee.
finish. If there were complaints made, they go to the community board. In other words, Chris would get those calls. Jeremy would get those calls, or oh God, I just had a senior moment. Harriet would get those calls. But if people are calling your personal cell phone, then that has to be suspect as to why are they calling you and not the community board, which is the proper channel to go through.
I know, I agree that they shouldn't be calling during business hours to Chris, Harriet, and Jeremy. Yes, I agree of that. But like I said, it was during the web meeting last time. Chris is not in the room, Harriet's not here, and Jeremy's not here in the room. They were calling me because I'm on transportation committee and they wanted their voice heard.
Okay, so, but I haven't heard any complaints from the police about this.
No.
Yes, it was a complaint about the police.
There was?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
I-
there was.
No.
can I finish? Let me
Yeah.
finish.
Mhm.
Let me check with community affairs tomorrow, or I can text them right now and see if they had any complaints. Cause they've never brought that up to the council or anything like that, so.
Can I address that?
I don't know if you want to even bother Jay because he's retired and all that, but even Jay was talking about all the complaints.
No, well, listen, Kenny, people are gonna complain for everything, okay? They don't like the noise, they don't like the music. That's not a legit, I mean, listen, I understand, they may not like the music, they may not like the noise, but
To enjoy.
can I finish my sentence? Okay? The majority of people are enjoying it, and the only complaint, and I went over this, you can ask Kenny Powers about there was a complaint about, it was a mix up, there was some mix up with payment or something. I forget, I have to look at my records, but that was cleared up. I think I didn't have, there was something that was supposed to be submitted that was there, but it got cleared up. But that's the only thing. There was no complaints from there was no incidents at the event itself that would warrant the police didn't have to come and break up any fights, or it was nothing like that. It was peaceful, and people just enjoyed it. So ask Kenny, Hazel. I have to look at my records. I don't have it off the top of my head, but Kenny, I went over there with Kenny.
I just text him.
Okay.
But, Chris, did you say that you guys got a complaint from the police?
Yes, we did.
What was it? Do you remember?
Not on top of my head, but it was from Jay Sturdivant. An email.
Okay.
He sent an email. I gotta look for it.
Can I also propose that we start some sort of, I think it's wonderful that members of the public, feel confident in reaching out to community board members, but there needs to be a centralized record keeping system, maybe like an Excel spreadsheet or something, like on X date was X event, member of the public, whoever their name is and their contact info, reached out to whoever the board member is, and this was their complaint. Because I think it's wonderful that people feel, they want to have their voices heard, but I think a centralized system of tracking those complaints that are sent to members of the board would be vital in conversations like this, because that very simply allows us to go to a spreadsheet, find an event. These are the complaints that were received. This is the board member that they were received by. And it makes this discussion a lot simpler rather than I need to go through my phone and find text messages from last year.
Okay.
SAPA should have the complaint, and also NYPD has the complaint.
No, but I'm talking about complaints that are going to board members that are not going to the community board or not going to the 49th precinct or not going to 311 because
Maybe
members
it's
of the
not
public.
official. Maybe it's not official. People
Right,
can
but
complain to
that
you about Chris on private matter, but if it's not official, then it's not official.
Well, right, but it allows us also to just get like a pulse check on responses to the event. It's not necessarily for, official purposes, but it does allow us to keep a pulse on what the output is and also maybe have some sort of decision that, anytime a member of the public, anytime a board member.
The member of public, if he doesn't call or she doesn't call, then if it's just because somebody complained to somebody, might be in personal matters. Well,
Right.
with gossip and he says, she say, doesn't go. If it's not
100%, but
official, doesn't
Okay,
go.
But also,
So-
board members should be encouraging members of the public, if you would like this complaint taken into account for future matters, you need to reach out to the proper channels because I represent the board, but I only represent the board on official matters. If you want an official complaint, here's how you do it.
Yeah, so I think that's probably the better way to do it is if they want their complaint to be brought up in this sort of forum, that they can be directed to the appropriate place, be it the police or the board or whatever, but trying to start up a system where we're talking about what we got on our text, and it doesn't, I don't think that would.
It can snowball.
Yeah.
So can I make a motion that we table?
Hold on.
Wait,
Hold on. Before you do that, so Kenny got back to me. He said there was only one complaint from a store owner who accused people from the crowd of putting graffiti on his storefront.
okay, so can I adjust that? Yes, the first year that we had the festival, we
That
had
was different.
permission from Priska to paint the wall. The last time we didn't, I didn't even bother because that got the mural that we had made got so graffitied, it was tagged and everything else. We said we're not doing that again. So didn't ask for permission. Now people did tag the wall, and I spoke to the owner and I apologized. I told him there was none of my people. Nobody spoke to me. Nobody from my group approved anything. So whoever did it on their own. And so what we decided in the future, we're going to try to have somebody, either an off-duty police or security, just keep an eye on it to see if anybody starts putting graffiti on the wall again, to stop before they start, and just keep an eye on that. I mean, that's out of my control. That's something I couldn't do. I couldn't control. I mean, I'm all over the place taking care of other things. It never occurred to me that people would put graffiti on the wall again because I didn't ask permission because I wasn't going to do it again. So, but we settled that. I spoke to the owner. He said, no problem. I was even looking to get I was going to get it, what do you call it? The graffiti removal. And then I believe he has a long name. He went and took
Kelly?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I was supposed to.
He's the one. He's from NCO Adam, and he's the one that's usually in charge of graffiti
Yeah.
removal.
Yeah. So I was working. We were supposed to get together and paint the wall, and then they went ahead and did it. So, they
Okay, so
did over the
Nicole?
graffiti. Yeah.
Cynthia, what are you referring to of street fair moratorium?
We had gotten, I apologize. We had gotten an email back in November about something from the mayor's office of citywide event coordination. And I did not read the full email, but there was a section on a street fair moratorium. I don't know what the specifics are on it, but basically it says something about that NYPD recommended that SAPO exercise its discretion to deny permit applications for new events. I don't know if that applies to any of this or not. But if anybody wants to relook at the email or whatever, I can ask Jeremy to send it again, but it was sent out to us on November 3rd.
You read it verbatim. I'm looking at it right now. So to more effectively deploy police resources and control overtime costs, the New York City Police Department has recommended that SAPO exercise its discretion to deny applications for new multi-block / multi-day street fairs events in the calendar year 2024. These rules to authorize SAPO to deny permit applications for street fairs if the street fair was not held in the calendar year 2023. Events that received permits in 2023 year may be eligible to receive permits again in 2024. So really, this moratorium really, it gives discretion to SAPO, not to us.
Yeah.
And what Grace is proposing, combining the two,
Would
would
constitute a
actually
new
help
event.
this. So instead of having
Well, no,
separate days, she's talking about combining the July and the October.
No,
Am I incorrect,
no,
Grace?
she's
I'm sorry?
she's combining food festival and the SAPO hip hop that she put in for last year.
Yeah, she said she's.
Yeah, but she wants
the
to
July.
offer, that's the July one.
The
The October one is her current standalone hip hop.
right. The October one was in. I put that street activity at the same time. I put it in at the same time that I had the other ones done. So I've already had. I even have one for 2025, I believe, already. So the July SAPO was for this past October. And they says, well, you know, if you don't want to lose it, you could just move the date. So I moved it to July and was looking to do the food festival. But then, you know, it would be closing down Allerton twice, once in July and then one in October. So I was going to call the people I talked to at the city to see if that's doable, because I don't want them to see it's not one event. It would be two separate events on the same avenue in different blocks.
On the
Yeah,
same.
they may not.
In other words, the food festival would be from Barnes to Wallace, and the hip hop festival would be from Wallace to Holland. So they're two separate blocks. And I just think it makes more sense that this way we don't have to close down Allerton twice. And then everybody can be happy with the food festival, the music.
Yeah, but why don't you just put that on one permit? I don't think they're gonna allow you to have two different
Two separate
permits.
permits for, yeah.
Well,
You can
that's
just
what
put that-
I need to find out.
Yeah, why don't you call them? They're very,
Yeah.
very, you know how they are. They're very friendly.
Yeah, no, I-
So that's
yeah,
why
I
I
know.
say we should table the two Allerton events. Table
Well, you
those
could table
two.
the one Allerton. I mean, the other one, I've
Well,
had that street activity permit
find out
since
To find out
2022.
further information to substantiate what people are saying, you know, that don't even want it in general.
Yeah, but-
That's your version.
But
That's what you
yeah,
say.
but hold on, guys. That's what
That's
they
what
were
I'm saying, we
telling
should table it.
you. The only complaint that the precinct got was about the graffiti. I don't know if that's the same complaint that Chris is talking about, but they just got one
No, Jay
complaint.
got a different complaint.
Nobody else called the cops about this.
Jay had
About
a different complaint.
Is it
I'm
in
just
the
telling-
records of community board office?
I'm telling you what they're telling me.
I make a motion to table the two Allerton events, at least until next month. Anybody second it?
I have a quick question.
What?
Is there like a time constraint that needs to be dealt with, or does it matter, or does it not matter if it's tabled to next?
Those two are far enough down the line. I don't think it should be too much of an issue.
Let me just, oh, sorry. It makes a difference because I need to get a certificate of insurance. I already have one for the street, for the music festival. I already have that certificate of insurance. The other one, I would need to get another certificate of insurance. So the sooner I know what I'm doing, the sooner I get it. The longer it costs more, the shorter period of time. So if I have more time, it'll cost me less. You understand?
I'm just
So
saying table for 1 month.
I'm sorry?
I'm just saying table it for 1 month.
All right, well, I'm just saying that it makes a difference. So a month into, if I have to get a certificate of insurance, which I will have to, that's a month that the price might go up.
I know, but
uh,
I'm actually trying to be nice on
Yeah,
this and kind of tabling it for a month. Because I know in other instances, when it was asked of you to get signatures for the
I did.
petition, you
Yeah.
did not.
That's
did
not
not.
true. What are you
You did
talking
not.
about? What are you
did
talking about? You're talking about my summer, my Hello Summer block party.
The thing with the library.
Yes,
You did
that's
not.
my Hello Summer block party that I do every year with the library. I've done it for 10 years.
I
with
know,
the
but you didn't do
library.
it last year when it was asked of you with the library. Because it was different. It was under a different.
Oh, right, but that was,
The vote.
All right,
is-
so-
is it-
and
Oh
Manny,
my God. That had to
So
be
like I
done.
said, I'm making a
That was-
motion to table the two
you won't
Allerton.
let me finish. Can I finish? So Manny was going to get those because since, even though it was all decided that it wasn't necessary because it was the same event, just under, because it was our 10th anniversary of ABBA. Manny wanted to do a nice thing for us and do it and put it under his name. Okay. He never did it before. He's learned a lot since then. However, he was willing to do the petitioning. I'm not sure if he did or not, because that was going to be on him. I didn't have to do it, but it was decided at that meeting that the petitions were not necessary. That's
No,
what I
it's
came
not.
away with.
We can go back to the recording.
Okay.
It was asked of you to get the signatures and nobody got the signatures.
No, it wasn't asked of me. And listen, I had done signatures 10 years. When you do a street activity permit for the first time, that's when you do your signatures. After that, you don't go
Right.
going back to get
And like I
signatures.
told you last year.
Right.
Like I told you last year.
Uh-huh.
Because it was going under Manny and because it was under a new umbrella, under a new the organization was pulling the permit, which was the
Right.
library. It was asked of you guys to get the signatures, and you
That
guys
would have been
did not.
that would have been Manny. However, at the full board meeting, it was approved. So it makes
That's right.
that signature a moot point.
All right, can we move on, please?
I would
So, like I
table-
said, I'm making a motion to table the two Allerton events for 1 month.
And
Do I
let
got
me
a
just say
second?
something on the record. Debbie has been
You
trying to
keep on
shut me
saying-
down
you
since
keep
last
on
year.
saying it.
Grace,
Everybody here wants to move on. I make a motion to table the two Allerton events. 637-522 and 728-728. I make a motion to table those two events until the February meeting. Do I have a second?
Debbie, can you give a chance to the chair to
Uh,
take the lead and the reins on it? Because I mean, you kind of,
I just want to say one comment to Grace. And I don't think it's going to make a world of difference because I'm not running to October 12th because that is Yom Kippur. That is the holiest day of the Jewish year. Now, if you're going to expecting getting business from, I know there's not a lot of Jewish people in this area, but if you're expecting to get people from over Manhattan, the Bronx, I don't know where they come from, that is Yom Kippur. And I don't have an issue with it, but that's an FYI for you.
Thank you.
The holy day.
No, totally. It's the holiest.
Yeah.
I was raised in a Jewish family. I totally understand.
And, part two of that, Grace, is police are going to be all over the place that on Yom Kippur. They'll be assigned all over the Bronx, Manhattan, everywhere, especially what's going on in the world now. So it's just a comment. It's not an opposition, it's just a comment.
Okay,
Sure. Also,
appreciate it.
another thing. Are we going back to vote on SAPO again? I thought that we don't do. The whole thing is just discussion and be aware of things. I thought that we don't do that anymore. Voting on street activity permit, unless it's a brand new one.
Last meeting.
That's the way we have
that.
been doing it.
Then I don't understand what we're talking about, things that have reoccurred before. I mean, these are all repeats.
They are
Okay,
repeats,
so-
except for the one she wants to do in October, right?
July.
Oh, no, the food festival.
Right, July,
Wait,
July, October.
confused.
Mhm.
Your hip hop
Thorough.
is a renewal,
Okay.
yes?
Yes.
Okay,
I thought it was
so we don't vote on renewals.
No, okay.
The new one is the
Mhm.
one that we have to talk about.
Okay,
It's about the food festival. About the rest of them, it was
Right.
discussed, you guys are aware of it, and that's it. So about the food festival, you haven't decided yet what you're gonna do, Grace, right?
no, I'm gonna get in touch with the city tomorrow and find out what I can do. I mean, I may just, I don't know. So if you're gonna table it for a month, that'll give me time to, I guess, to figure that out and also look into COIs.
Okay, so
You
that's
just
the
put it
only,
on one,
right.
just put it on one permit, just extend the activities that you're doing.
But they don't do it.
That's probably what they're gonna tell you anyway.
That's not what the city does. They won't do that.
They're not gonna give
Because-
you two permits for the same day.
Well, this
That's
is
what
what I
I'm
want to
saying.
find out because it's the same day, but they're technically two separate events.
But that's what I'm saying.
the same
If you
purple-
don't make it two separate. Make it extend the hip hop to include the food festival.
But then that's only one block. I need a whole
Doesn't
block
have-
just for the
Grace, what Hazel is trying to say is that can you combine them? So you have 4 blocks in
City-
one block, make it all 5, and make a combination of food festival / hip hop music.
I can combine it, but I'll only have the one block. You understand? The city will not combine the two with 2 blocks. I can combine it and just
You
have
know
the
what?
one block. This
Call
is
them.
what they do.
Call them tomorrow and talk to them and see what they say.
Okay. All right. I mean, I've been dealing with them for, 10 plus years.
All right.
So I kind of know what they're gonna say, but I'm gonna check with them
Okay.
anyway.
All right. So that one, the new one, we will table for next month.
Okay,
728.
whatever the one is
Whichever one
July.
it is, whichever one it is.
Yes,
The July one?
Yes,
Okay, so 728 is tabled until next month.
Okay,
thank
All
you.
right, I'm gonna second that.
second. Any opposition? 4, okay, that passes. Okay, table 728 for next month. Now we go to 746688. And according to me, today is January 8th,
That is correct.
right?
Yep.
January 8th. Hey,
Happy January 8th.
so are we approving something? Oh, no.
What is
Well,
that?
approving something that's already happening.
Happening. It happened
No, we're
about-
not.
Happened about 7 hours ago. 12 hours ago.
Well, it's going from today until next Monday.
Next- yeah,
Where is, Chris,
what
where
is
is it? Where is it and what is it? Help.
Chris,
What exactly are you talking about? you
Access
guys
to care,
confusing yourself.
continuity of care. There must be a typo in there too.
Which one is this? Access to care, continued care?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, this is Serena Muniz is having this activity. And
Who?
it happened before. It has occurred before.
okay, covered before, that's it.
So August 2023.
That's what we have to hear. It's covered before? Move.
Yes, sir.
Opposed, I guess.
Out, a card before. Okay, Spring Festival. We're getting to May.
That's Bronx House, Howie Martin has occurred before.
Card before, and
Okay.
then and the police work with him on that one, that I know about.
Mhm.
Yes.
Four, Gospel Crusade.
where is that?
That's David Foster has happened about for as long as I remember.
Where
Okay.
is that?
Near Gun Hill
That's
Road.
a Troop Avenue between East Gun Hill Road and Berg.
I remember that one. Okay, so repeating for everybody here. We are tabling 728-728, 74668, 749-635, 753-864, happened before, and then we do not have to approve it. Thank you.
Right.
Next, moving on, gallery session we did, unless somebody tuned in later and wants to say something. Yes, sir.
He walked in after.
You're
Very
on.
much. How you doing?
How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Hey, my name is Kevin. I'm here representing the Hutchinson Greenway. Two comments.
Go ahead.
I put in, not a 311 yesterday, I put in two DOT requests yesterday. I just want to ask, I want to mention them out loud to the transportation.
Sure,
committee,
go ahead.
And then ask if the Committee Board 11 can help me follow through. They both are in this Committee Board 11.
All yours. The floor is yours.
Real simple. I just want to say the first one is about a capital project on East Chester Road, Pelham to Waters Place. It's the bicycle lane network. And can we find out when they plan to begin that process, that phase 2 of East Chester Road? It should have been completed in 2003. So I mean, do have a request out there.
2003?
Yeah, it should have been
20
completed.
years ago?
2023. Thank you very much. Yeah, well, I think 2003, but
That shows I'm the only guy that's listening.
but Dan, you're right, 2003. 2023, but I'm sure they're gonna follow up with me because I put it in not through 311, but through a
That's
DOT
when the
website.
police don't work, one, because it's blocking their.
I never heard that.
Yeah, no, I heard it.
It is part of the police station,
Police were here.
but I think it's on the other side of the street, you know.
It is?
I think part of it's gonna be on the other side.
Am I?
But anyway,
Okay, man.
that is an issue, and that's something that the DOT
Okay, yeah.
need to work out. That's not something. for
Okay,
the-
just some of the cobwebs in my mind. I remember.
Yeah,
the
Right,
police
the
one.
Yeah,
school didn't want it, the
definitely-
police didn't want it.
It would definitely run right in front of the police station, on
Gotcha. Okay.
the intersection of Pelham Parkway,
I just want to show you I do remember.
and a bunch of other places as well.
Okay, go ahead.
Second one is, I've put in many 311 requests over the course of the years, and I have asked Jeremy to follow through, and he has. Nothing's been done yet, so I'm just gonna bring it up again. We have a new council person, we have a new year, we have a new board. We have a lot of new, so I'd like to bring it up again so people are aware of what I'm gonna be looking forward to bringing up in the future. And this one is the exit off the Hutchinson River Parkway
At Waters
at
Place.
Waters Place.
100% agree.
Which leads into Fink and or Westchester Avenue. The 311 complaints I put in are for lighting, which is actually the minor complaint there. But it's about ponding, no curb, and the loose gravel. As a cyclist, the gravel's the issue. As a driver, you hit the potholes and you splash the gravel and the water off. And you know that slip lane to the right, I'd like to bring that up as kind of a suggestion. The DOT may want to review the slip lane and maybe a 90-degree angle as well, if they do get an opportunity to review this area. So I'll leave these two with you if you don't mind.
Kevin, send me an email and pictures, please.
Sure, I'll leave the paperwork on in here because I'm not
Yeah.
taking it with me.
And that's
Southbound,
southbound Hutch exit or northbound Hutch exit?
Southbound, I don't know the number though.
Okay, that's fine. I don't need it.
Two,
No, it's 1B.
1B, yeah, it's got a B number, yeah.
To southbound.
There's no exit 2.
Yeah, I know what that is. Okay.
Let's do the other way.
Yeah, that's good.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything else?
Thank you much.
Okay, wonderful. Anybody else that we missed in gallery? I see a hand. I see two hands. I see Diana
No,
Finch was first.
Hazel's is a thumb up.
Okay, Diana Finch is
Yeah,
first.
sorry, this is another item. So there's a street light that's been out for a very long time on Pelham Parkway westbound, just before you get to White Plains Road by the local bus stop, local 12 bus. And when I go to report it, I always get the same notification. Thank you for notifying us of this problem. This call has been reported with a current status of on referral. And it says it's a duplicate request, already been reported. There's a work order number, but nothing ever happens. And I wanted to know if anyone knew what this persistent problem with that one particular street light that's right over the bus stop
Wiring.
is.
I'm just guessing. It's a possibility there might be a feed, which means that the Con Edison has to be involved besides DOT. So it's a
Okay.
possibility might be that, but like I said, send it to me. I'll
Okay.
get in contact with our Well, to tell the truth, DOT lately has been very kind of giving us the cold shoulder because the co-chair has requested, and also a few members of the public, about an update on Bronxdale Avenue when it comes to traffic, whatever they did over there, that study. And 2 occasions I've requested. In 2 occasions, they just giving me the kind of runaround, I should say.
Okay.
Because I never get a exact answer how, because I requested for them to come and be in our meeting, so at least they can give an explanation what's going on and also bring data because it was requested.
Because initially when we started asking about it, the construction was still going on.
Right.
So we were told, wait, it is probably part of the whole reconstruction project. Wait till that's over, see if it's fixed by then, but it wasn't.
You're talking about the light now, or you're talking about?
The light.
The light. So again, do me a favor, email it to me with all the referral numbers from 311. And if you can.
And now that we have a new DOT commissioner who seems to be somebody that a lot of people know and a lot of the elected officials know him.
Please let me know who's the new DOT.
Maybe things will be different. Maybe you could ask him, invite him to come introduce himself to the committee.
We actually invited him earlier today.
We weren't introduced. It's funny though. You guys know before us, but hey, hallelujah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe
So
he assumes everybody knows, because a lot of people do know him. I think John Zaccaro knows him very well.
All right, Diana, send all the information to Chris. Thanks, hon.
Okay. Thank you, Diana. Okay, motions we did. Old business is, for your information only, street lights on exit 70 on the Bronx River
Street
Park.
light out.
Street light out. So I guess you can merge that into what Diana just said.
That's what I was saying, it was state, but Jeremy said
Yeah.
before, it's not technically state, it's like a DOT part, yeah.
Okay, so we can merge those 2 together, that's fine. Anybody else with old business? Going through.
Well, I was mentioning before, also that old business was the bus shelter.
Yeah, I wrote that.
Right.
It's right here.
Well, I guess for those that showed up,
Yeah.
we were just chit chatting before.
Opposite TD Bank.
Yeah,
Right
right by
there.
TD Bank. That's bus shelter number 1 and bus shelter number 2 on Pelham Parkway at Stillwell Avenue.
Okay. Chris, we got that? Christopher.
Send me emails. Send me emails. Gotta be official. Nowadays, everything, even me, once upon a time, in the old times, I used to pick up my phone and pick up my other contact, things were done. Now they're saying send emails. Has to be followed up by a 311. Without 311, nothing I can do.
So old business, we got the
Well,
70. Old business, we got the
Like
70.
I said, it was the bus shelters were talked about many times, and
Baby,
Chief Cal had even
let me
promised.
cut it short. Let me cut it short. I put it in 2018, so it's almost 4 years ago. For
I
2
know.
speed bumps. But no, hold on, let me finish. 2 speed bumps. One in Laconia Avenue because it was drag racing over there, and one in Mace Avenue because it was bad. A 4-way stop because of accidents and so on and so forth. To this moment, after I can count 7 emails, starting from Mr. Lopez to the new temporary commissioner that was at this time, I forgot her name. I'm getting the runaround. I'm never getting a right response. It's been studied, and guess what? If it was a private company, would have had the rocket in the moon. Meanwhile, the city is just taking that lovely time. But 4 years for a study, for a bump, now that tells you a lot.
Hey, you don't have to tell me. I've been asking for a stop sign for 18, 20 years.
There you go. They're putting stop signs in places that are not necessary. They're putting lights in places that are not necessary. And they don't do it in the areas that are very kind of, I should say, at risk. But hey, this is DOT.
Do what they want. Okay, new business. Ms. Kowalik, just you want to elucidate on these 2, and then we'll take anybody
Okay.
else.
Part 1 is I'm requesting additional lighting on Pelham Parkway. Mostly I'm referring to Pelham Parkway, the path. I've brought it up in parks, don't worry, I brought it up there too, but also because it's lighting and DOT and all that, I'm bringing it up here also. Let me see if I can share with you guys. All right, how do I share it?
Go back to WebEx. You want to screen share real quick?
Yeah.
And
Share?
then, yeah. And click screen one or photo.
This?
Yeah, click on that, click share.
Okay. Does everybody see the picture?
Yes.
Or okay. And can you see the mouse? Can you see my mouse?
Yes.
All right. What I'm requesting is lighting like this. This is over at Mashalou. This is below the tree line, which helps illuminate the pathways and sidewalks and etc. I'm requesting that we get that on Pelham Parkway. So,
It's some daylighting at the corner.
Make a motion, Debbie.
all right, so I make a motion for DOT to install lighting on Pelham Parkway that's below the tree line. I don't know how else to
Sounds good.
to talk about this light, but
Just the same lighting they have on Mushaloo.
oh, okay. The same pathway light. So I make a motion for DOT to install lighting on Pelham Parkway for the pathways, just like they have on Marshalloo for their pathways. Do I get it?
Second.
Second? You got a second? You second?
I'm second. That's fine.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All in favor is in this room. Okay. How do I unshare
Go to that orange bar.
and stop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Can
Cool. Thank you.
I say something?
What?
I just wanted to see if you could add to that and say, just not only Pelham Parkway, but any dark area within the community board.
No.
11
I'm right now I'm focusing just on Pelham Parkway because this type of lighting I only saw on Marshalloo Parkway. So I'm comparing an apple to an apple here. I'm not talking about other areas of neighborhoods.
That's good.
Even though I would kind of agree with that, I'm just sticking right now with Pelham Parkway.
Can I make a comment? Is it okay? It's positive.
Go ahead, quickly.
They possibly might be doing that on Moshua Parkway to light up the new bike lane that's there in the street.
No, this is
Access
like
to the
all,
sidewalk.
no, this is all over, and that actually wasn't even by the bike lane.
Right.
As you see, I took that picture from the school bus at a red light, don't worry.
And pathway.
Okay, now second one, Debbie.
The second one is, for markings to be put on Pelham Parkway between White Plains Road and Boston Road in their left lane. Currently, since it's now, DDC says they're done, and they're washing their hands of it. I'm requesting DOT put more markings on the left lane and more signage on the left lane because it's in the left lane, you're supposed to make a left turn onto Pelham Parkway because there's only one arrow painted on the asphalt, and 10 times out of 10, it's under that one car that's near the light. Nobody sees that. And then every car in the left lane is cutting vehicles off in the lane that's next to them when they're going straight towards Fordham Road.
That's eastbound, correct?
Westbound.
Westbound.
It's going towards Fordham Road.
You meant to get the left onto Boston Road, right?
No,
It-
so then it's worded the wrong way.
Yeah.
Then it should be saying Did you say westbound on Pelham Parkway?
West, okay.
Yeah, maybe it is right, at Boston Road? Yeah.
Westbound on Pelham Park. Yeah, no, I even got it.
Yeah, westbound on Pelham Park, yeah, okay, just gotta put westbound there, that's
Okay,
all.
no, I had it like total, it's westbound, it's this area right here. I'm sorry, guys, in the web audience. But
Okay, I see it.
There
Westbound.
need, there's only one painted arrow right here, and it's like under a car 10 times out of 10. And so nobody's seeing it. So when vehicles are going straight towards Fordham Road, everybody in that left lane is going straight, thinking they can go straight and cutting off.
There's no sign there, Debbie? There's no
There's
sign?
one sign.
One sign, okay, but there is a
Debbie,
sign.
the camera's off. Turn your camera on, Deb.
I'm sorry, hold on.
You just gotta minimize this and it should come back.
You can put them side by side.
Okay, so there
You
is.
see me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the second sign would do more than an arrow is probably, because I see two.
Well, no, people don't read signs. Markings would help also.
Okay.
Because it's absurd on how many, because I go through that
Part of it is
intersection.
intentional.
What?
Part of it is intentional.
Some of them are intentional, yeah, you're not
Majority
majority,
of them.
but it's not terribly intentional when I'm going through there at 6 a.m. When I'm going through there at 3 o'clock, yeah, that's intentional. They're intentional. But when I'm going through there at 6 a.m. and it's dark and all of a sudden these vehicles are gonna try to broadside a bus.
It needs to start all the way back under the subway station so that people know that that's what's
Right.
coming. Because they're expecting that's, if you don't get anything until you get right up there, all the way along Pelham Parkway, very few people are turning left on the white lane, so they're.
Okay.
There should be a light, a sign at the light, like they have it in Westchester
I
Square,
got
that you
you.
can't make a left over the train.
Right.
Okay, Debbie, you can make a motion on that too, not a problem.
Right. I make a motion for DOT to add more signage and add more paint markings in the left lane for westbound on Pelham Parkway
At
between White Plains Road and Boston Road.
Well said. I second that.
Any discussion?
No, keep those hands up.
Everybody say hi.
Anybody opposed?
No.
Everybody's for it?
They all shook
All
their
right,
heads the right
good.
way.
On the
Okay.
topic of Pelham, I'm so sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
To talk really quickly about eastbound Pelham Parkway, right before Boston Road, there's a separate, so the ramp of people coming off of Bronx River Parkway.
Yeah.
And then you have people continuing on Pelham Parkway. I see at least 2 accidents every single day. They need to have a separate light.
I brought
And there
it,
should not be a left turn from there.
this
Maps is the-
signage,
Actually, it's not.
This
I use a map with it for the road. It actually says no left allowed.
this
Drive-
signage is, they're not,
Jersey barriers.
right. But I actually brought up to state DOT because it's not city DOT, which is why I said the lighting on Bronx River was state. I brought it to state DOT that they need to close that exit altogether, because if you get off the exit prior, over by the zoo, that's totally properly controlled and they can make their left lane or left turn with no issue.
I don't necessarily see that they need to necessarily close the exit, but it should have a separate controlled light. Like there is a light there already that
Right.
exists, but it should have a different pattern than the rest of Pelham Parkway, that they have their own protected turns and they should not be going left from there.
So they have done that, and it's probably, I don't know, Jeremy or Chris could find it. They've done studies on that 20 years ago, 10 years ago, and they come back with the same thing every time.
It's
Not needed. And I agree with you 100%. It is a accident waiting to happen.
No, not waiting. It happened. I've seen it twice. Twice in
Waiting,
some time.
accident waiting to happen. It's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And maybe one of these days, when God forbid it's a real accident with real things, maybe they'll do something. Boston Road is gonna be a problem in our lifetime forever.
Yeah, because you're referring to right.
Yes, they need to have a separate
Yeah.
pattern than the rest of Pelham Parkway.
It's probably you should not allow them to make a left turn at all.
And when they're merging,
They're
the
not
problem is-
supposed to.
They're not supposed to in the first place. The problem is that they are also, that lane is merging into the other, so the rightmost lane,
Right.
hold on one second, Debbie. So that rightmost lane,
Yeah,
that rightmost lane can either turn right or merge left to continue on Pelham Parkway. The other issue is that the rightmost lane on Pelham Parkway continuing can either turn right into the merging traffic or continue.
100%.
And that red truck can make a right.
Yeah.
That red truck can
And
make a
they do
right,
all the
and
time.
where that cursor is can make a left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they have the same light at the same time.
okay, so the only thing I could say with that, new DOT man, maybe, whoever.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's all I can tell you. This is.
I don't know why I
This
don't.
has been blocked forever.
Yeah, I don't know why I don't see on this Google map that you can't make the turn, but
This
I
is
know.
August 21. So it's been changed.
Even now.
This picture's from August 2021.
I know, but I could swear that sign's been there that you can't make that turn.
It's
What's the
not.
left sign say?
Yeah, no.
Left.
No, this is keep intersection clear. Ha, yeah, right. And
Alright,
this
so,
one's left turn makes left.
Left, yeah, left lane, left.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have to do a study and then makes it. good.
so I,
Hazel, you've asked for the new DOT person to show up here, right? So
yeah,
maybe-
I think we should make another request, but instead of sending it to the person we've been sending it to, is it possible for us to send it to somebody on top of them or over them, I should say? Because if they keep ignoring us, maybe we have to go over their heads.
On my request, I have CC'd the commissioner too, the acting commissioner.
All right, so, well, he must have a boss or she must have a boss.
The mayor?
You're gonna need the mayor.
The mayor, who's the mayor's representative?
You know what?
She doesn't do anything. I don't know if she does anything.
Maybe we should reach out to,
She's sleeping? Oh, okay. That's not
Ms.
gonna help you.
Ms. Dow and
Alina,
see if she can, yeah, let me reach out to Alina, see if she can do anything for us. But Chris, let's send another request
you might
saying
want-
it's imperative that you guys come to our committee meeting.
What specific items, because they always start with this, what specific items you wanna talk about it? And I put it
Well,
up on the
just-
Bronxdale.
We can-
Margaret Boston Road for 2 hours.
Yeah, don't even mention Bronxdale. We'll mention Bronxdale,
When they show up.
Right.
yeah.
Tell 'em
So,
Margaret.
yeah, but let's bring him in on this issue too. And yeah, and the lighting and stuff.
Hey,
I'll
very
try.
good. Any more new, old, medium business, hot business, cold business?
I got a little bit of
Hot,
new.
cold? Anything?
Not terribly hot.
Hot, okay, so let's.
Another,
Temperature?
yeah,
Go ahead.
room temperature. Take the temperature of the room.
Well, and let's hear it.
Also on Boston Road at Thwaites Place, they put in that left turn bay. That's a pedestrian
nightmare.
hit waiting to happen. Boston Road
Yeah.
southbound at Thwaites
Huh?
Place.
Oh, sound.
Boston Road southbound at
Right.
Thwaites Place.
So everybody goes into Thwaites Place because they think they're beating the traffic on Boston Road. So they go back to Bronx Park East and come back down Thwaites Place. And Thwaites Place, sooner or later, one of these days will be back into Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
That's
So
how-
wait a minute.
I'm actually
Where?
talking about left off of Boston Road onto, if you zoom way in, it calls it Thwaites Place. It's more like White Plains Road.
Which says Eugene, Olaf.
Oh, that one, where the buses are
Southbound
turning,
on, yeah,
where the buses are
where the
turning.
buses are turning. The buses usually will follow the light, but then.
Oh,
there'll be two
by
or three
Botanical
people-
Market?
There'll be two
Yeah.
or three people who follow through. and you
Yeah,
have
oh,
people
sorry, I
walking
thought you
the
meant
subway.
further in. Okay, I know.
The further end's also a
And especially the long bus, takes
Yeah.
a long time to make the turn.
Yeah,
You
so.
got one long bus to turn, Miss Rowley.
Well, if you remember, the cars were not allowed to make a left turn there. They used to be able to make it after the marketplace.
That is
And
correct.
then, and buses were the only ones that could make that left turn.
Some genius stuff.
Now everybody can make that left turn and it is a nightmare.
Correct, yes.
So I don't know if the answer would be to go
Is-
back to buses.
Is the other side of the
or to
market-
Left turn,
The street on the other side of the market, is that reopened?
yeah.
Yeah, but you can't make it.
Because I don't go into service.
But you can't make the left there.
Can't make
You
it.
can't make the left there anymore.
Oh, all right. So if you're on Boston Road facing the zoo, you cannot make a left behind the market.
you can make a left behind, oh.
Behind you.
No, not behind it, no.
Market.
No, that was stuff. That was stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
That was stuff. Okay, that's valid. That's another one to add. I like the idea of buses only, and maybe they should open up the next one again for cars.
You know what's gonna be their answer? They're gonna start a study on Boston Road, so they can do the same thing they did in Bronxdale, Morris Park, and everywhere else.
It's gonna be.
I can put a bet on that. I can put a paycheck.
Well, I put in a request for them to put a study on, the DOT request for that
They're gonna tell you.
particular intersection.
They're
They can do the same thing that they did in Bronxdale, East Tremont, Morris Park. So.
Okay.
I doubt if they do that there. It would be a traffic nightmare for them.
Oh, you mean like what they did with Gun Hill Road, which is a nightmare?
Yeah, they won't do that there.
Oh, they will do it. They will do it because guess what? The
All right, let's-
engineers, I don't know where they find these engineers. I mean,
I'll take a bet. I'll bet you.
okay, I'm telling you, because they did the same thing in Eastchester Road. You look at that, in Eastchester Road, there are 2 lanes going north instead of having 2 lanes going south, which doesn't make sense because people go toward the hospitals, toward the police, toward everywhere else, not getting out. That doesn't make sense. Same
Yeah,
thing they did in Gun Hill.
but over here on Boston Road and Pelham Parkway they're you're getting on and off highways.
Right, but it
So
seems like.
there's no way that they're gonna be able to do that there.
They tried once, they wanted to put it in, and then we kind of said, you know what, hold on into that, because based on our experiences, ain't gonna come out something good. I don't know where they find these people that call them specialists on this thing, because whatever they did in Bronxdale Avenue, you could do it somewhere that is a park, somewhere in Brooklyn or somewhere in Queens, but not in Bronxdale Avenue. I mean, I understand with Morris Park, you wanna put a bike lane, fine, but put it like Morris Park. Whatever they did, the travesty over there in Bronxdale Avenue, to me, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's been killed yet.
One person was.
Really?
The very
Oh,
first
yes,
week
you're
they
right. No,
did it.
you're right. Yes.
Hardest thing with your buses, making that left turn, it's a problem. I once spoke to them about it, is those buses should keep on going straight instead of going under the train, because half of them can't even fit under the train, and cars are coming this way, and buses are going that way.
Yeah.
The problem with that, I think they told me, was there's some rule from God that bus has to stop near that subway station. So I said, what would be so bad if the bus stopped? But that was the next problem. That block.
Because
I'm gonna say this right. On Pelham Parkway going east on that corner where the express bus stops, or where the 30, what's that bus that comes from Fordham Road? I don't know what number that is.
22. The west.
22, good, 22. So you would have 3 buses now stopping there, and 2 of them are long ones. That would be the smartest thing.
Yeah.
That if they could just have that long bus, all that a long bus, when it comes down, either way, not to go under the subway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
why I
can't
don't
do that
think
because
they
those are transfer points.
Yeah, that's what they told me, transfer, so God forbid they'd have to walk. a
Yeah,
block.
those are transfer points for the train and the number 12.
Block. That's all it is.
And I know the 30 makes their U-turn over there.
That's the 30 now is in there too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. At 30, I don't know where they should send that to, but now you have another bus turning there.
So
Yeah, all right, so we are going to.
One other
Sorry.
thing.
Not to keep us
Sorry,
to
Rabbi.
Hazel, you could go next, no problem.
If you want to go, Hazel, I'm okay.
No, go ahead.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, I just learned about this the other day, but about daylighting. The mayor wants to daylight intersections. He's set a goal of 1,000 a year. I think that it's important because I overlook a corner every time I go to the refrigerator. I look out the window and I see a car. We have stop signs on each block. Every single car pulls into the crosswalk before they slow down. Most of them don't stop, but every single one pulls directly into the crosswalk. And they do that because they can't see around, right? And we all know that. We also got our quarterly injury report, and the most people who get injured are pedestrians in the crosswalk. I feel like there might be a little bit of a connection there. So my thought, given our difficulty contacting the DOT, is the mayor's already talking about wanting to do this in writing. If we get ahead of it and try to say something to the mayor, to the DOT, like these are blocks where, this might be of value, where people are getting hurt or crashes are happening, we might be able to shape it into what we like rather than having the DOT come in and force this policy that the mayor's committed to.
I know they've done a lot of daylighting, a lot already in this area. And like I mentioned before, 18, 20 years, I've been asking for a stop sign. I'll even pull up the intersection if you're not familiar with it or whatnot. But I've been asking for a stop sign on Lydic Avenue at Mulliner. After you zig and a zag going under the 5 train.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Been asking for a stop sign there for 20 years. I know when my husband was alive. So yeah, easily 20 years when my husband was alive. I've been asking for a stop sign there. They daylighted that corner. Before they did the Con Ed work, what was happening? And believe me, I support the people in blue. But what was happening was an off-duty cop was parking there. It's becoming their private parking.
Yeah.
Now that, so you still couldn't see.
No.
Now Con Ed has all their material stockpiled at that corner. We still can't see. We want a stop sign. They're not giving a stop sign. And right now, for them to do a study with the traffic nightmare of the construction, you're not even gonna get a proper study. So I'm not even bothering to put in for a study yet there again. But 20 years been asking for a stop sign there.
And it needs it. So I mean,
Yeah.
like
You got
there
a
are problems,
school.
but
You got, before there was the temple, now there's a school, because they tore down the temple, built the school. You do have the other temple down at Mulliner and Pelham Parkway. You have the bus stop. You have Bronx House, the senior center. You have all reasons that corner, a lot of people are crossing at that corner. There's a whole bunch of reasons why there should be a stop sign at that corner.
Make that the first one on his list.
Hazel, what do you have to say, Hazel?
No, I was just gonna sum everything up. I didn't know we weren't finished.
in theory.
You made your point.
Yeah, we are finished.
Okay,
What I'm gonna talk to, and maybe if I have to work with Chris and Jeremy, whoever, or when we welcome Mr. DOT in, maybe we'll put a list of priorities, everything we've spoken about today, and we will hit them one at a time, and we'll try to get answers, plain and simple. Now, I don't know if that could happen at the next meeting, because again, MTA's around next time, and then we'll be there like for 4 hours. But we'll discuss with Hazel and with our community board people, and I wish everybody a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks. I just wanted to add that we had asked for those below the tree level streetlights on Bronx Park East as well, for more of them. There's a few. But when we met with Councilmember Riley, who now represents from Allerton North, we asked him to put more in, consider putting more in. They're very effective, very good. So if we could add Bronx Park East to Pelham Parkway. Thank you.
Okay.
thank you, Diane.
Anything else?
Diana.
Taylor, anybody? Last call, last call. Okay, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your week. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rabbi. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night,
And
everybody.
happy and healthy 2024.
Hazel, feel better, Hazel.
Thank you, Rabbi.